and gentlemen, we're back again. Dream Chaser #1, Abdul Rahman bin Muhammad. We're here for the first episode of N Talk for 2020. And boy, oh boy, I think we have a very interesting conversation that's about to take place. We're here at My Wife Didn't Cook.
My Wife Didn't Cook
restaurant here in New Britain. And we have Derrick Molden. He's a warden at Manson Youth Correctional, right? And then, of course, we have Devon Tanksley Sr., who, the last time we were here, Devon, we talked, you were running for mayor.
Yes.
And so we were talking a lot about that. So give us a little wrap up on what happened with the mayor race, and then we could talk about some of the other things.
Absolutely. So I just want to say it's been a while, it's been a few months after everybody wrapped up on the mayor thing, and I've been behind the scenes really, mapping out some great things. And this is how this conversation right here took place. But it was a very, very great experience, a journey for me. One thing I learned through the process of running for mayor or just running for anything is that through that process of running for mayor in my city, right. I learned that I'm a soft-hearted person. You understand? My heart is real soft.
Right.
So the things that I had to encounter, the things I had to go through, and the people I had to, the conversations that took place could get real nasty when it comes to politics.
Yes,
you understand?
Of course, yes.
And you have to have thick skin. And by me being an open-hearted person, a kind-hearted person, in the beginning it was hitting me the wrong way, and I'm like uncomfortable. Like, what's going on? But then I realized that it was building me up. It was preparing me for something. And the night that I lost, or I'm not going to say lost, the night that she got reelected,
yes,
I said to myself, I felt like I won. And I was trying to figure out, like, connect with my body. What is this feeling? You understand?
Right.
And the feeling was I won from a young kid coming from where I come from. In the system, poverty, crime, violence, the struggle, and I was able to get my name on the ballot.
That's right.
And run for mayor, all because of the care that I have for my community. And what I did was my purpose. I pulled everything from underneath the rug, and I said to the whole city, probably to the whole world, I said, look. You understand?
Right.
And what that did was it started the dialogue and the conversations that people were scared to have. Yeah. And one thing I want to say that I learned is that there are people in the city that care. You understand? Before I thought there wasn't.
Right.
But sitting down, there are people who care, but no one knows where to start.
Right.
And this is what I would say. Let's start with who we are. Who we are as human beings. Let's get away from what color you are. Let's get away from the racism. Let's get away from politics. Let's get away from blue and red. Let's get away from all of that. And let's start with who we are as human beings.
So speaking of youth, I came in and I saw these two books sitting on the table.
Yes.
A Mother's Pain, and then Pain and Guilt
and Success.
Or Pain, Guilt, and Success. Can you talk a little bit about these books? And I know that Derrick is using them in the prison. So let's talk a little bit about why you wrote these books, what they're about, and how they relate to the prison.
Yes. So A Mother's Pain, part one, A Mother's Pain. This book right here is based off of true life events, things that I've been through, things that my friends been through, and things that people go through just in the world in general. And what I did was I took these young boys who was about 14, 15 years old, and I wanted to entertain, but at the same time I want to educate. And just to back up real quick, the reason why I wrote these books is I wrote these books at a time where all my friends and everybody wanted to be a music artist and drop an album. And I said, what can I do to still put my message out there, but be different, to stick out? So I said, you know what? I'm going to just write a book.
Right.
And I decided to write a book, and I wrote it. So this book is about 110 pages, and I didn't make it too you see the words? Because I wanted it I wanted an easy read, because I didn't want to drive our people away.
Right.
We don't really dive into reading as much, so I wanted to make sure that they was able to pick it up and read it. So A Mother's Pain is, like I was telling you before, is based off of things that we go through in life, like myself.
Right.
in the juvenile system, in the prison system, in the streets. Us as kids go through all these things, and we do it without a care in the world.
Right.
You know, we don't think about our dad. We don't think about our mom. We don't think about our grandparents. We don't think about nobody else but us, but not realizing that when you're in there, the people who suffer the most is your mom. You understand? The people who suffer the most is your wife, your woman, your grandparents. So this is why I wrote this book, so anybody could relate to something like this. Because the pain that this mother went through, seeing her kids choose that path, is more than the pain that they went through. You understand? And in part 2, pain, guilt, and success, I wanted to show people that you don't have to be stuck in that life of drugs and violence. So in pain, guilt, and success, they matured, they got older, and they started leaving the drug game alone and investing in real estate, investing in businesses, and embraced entrepreneurship. There's an interesting thing in this book right here that I love, and if people was to read this book right here, there's a book in the book. So what I did was I took the oldest character in this book, and there's a book that he's reading, and that book that he's reading is about consciousness. And one thing that I'm big on is conscious awareness.
Yes.
In this world we live in, where a lot of people don't know, is that our perception is how we look at things. So if we feel that we living in a community or in a world of violence, negativity, we're continuing to put out that energy, and that perception continues to be the reality of the life that we're living. You understand?
Yes, I do.
So consciously, I'm breaking down how energy, there's no different than the energy that's in your ring, or the energy that's in this table, or the energy that's on my arm. Energy is energy. When scientists put the human body under this energy machine, or put a cup under it, the same energy waves is flowing. So what we have to realize is that consciousness is energy. What we see comes from what we don't see.
My father used to always say, thoughts are things.
Thoughts are things.
Right? And
Yes.
so it's like,
yes,
simple.
that's what it is. That's it. Thoughts are
right?
things.
So Derrick, you are having the young men at Manson read this book. Which one, both?
Yes. Excuse me. Basically, Ron came in and he spoke to the population, and it was so impactful. We couldn't believe how impactful it was. You know, he was raw, he was real, and he provided these copies of these books, and we couldn't believe we had some members of the population that just, like you said, they're not buying into reading. Reading's not. These books, I'm gonna just guess and say maybe 50 kids read these books in a weekend. Oh wow! He was just passing it around. And what he's provided for the population is, and I tell him this sometimes because we talk a lot, is like he's impossible. The things that he's doing, they're not
unheard of,
possible. And when they see him, that becomes, like you said, a thought, a reality now. You know, so
I can do this too.
Exactly. So I tell him too. I don't know if he realizes the impact that he has. He's a very humble guy. Every time I interact with him, I leave a little more motivated, a little more educated. But he's provided something for this population that they don't typically get. They feel one thing is consistency. They expect him to be there. He's there, and he's brought in a crew of people that, you know, I get a lot of the accolades for it. All I really had to do was open the door for him. And he's provided us with such a resource now that we have kids in there talking about starting businesses. We have kids in there talking about trying to get pardons and things like that. So mainly I just want to thank him. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate and what you bring to the table. But anything that he's willing to provide for our population, especially when it comes to educational stuff, we open the door and we just kind of let him run with it. And these books were like hotcakes.
So you know what's interesting? I go up to Carl Robinson every Monday. I'm doing this conversation with him called the Manhood Tree. Don't worry about that. But one of the guys made a statement one week where he was saying that it wasn't until he came to prison where he was able to interact with men in a normal, like in a like maybe like father son or mentoring type of relationship. So when he was in the community, all the people he looked up to were basically set up for his demise. They were like drug dealers. People led him down the wrong path. When he got to prison, there's guys in there that's doing 10 years, 20 years, whatever, And these men were able to kind of say to him, like, man, young brother, you know, based on their experience now, they're able to kind of give him the good information that he missed when he had a chance as a young boy. And so it's an interesting thing to be able to switch it where somebody who is out in the community, who's successful, to be able to get with these young brothers, they ain't gonna be in jail for 20 years, and they can kind of like catch their life before it goes too far down the road, you know. And so I think that's a powerful thing, because a lot of times in our community, what we find out is happening is that the kids don't have access to the right men. It's like if you go outside your door, it's like almost like it's easy to go with the guy that's right outside your door, but the guy right outside your door may not be right for you. And then you may not have, your father may not be involved, your uncles may not be the right type of guys. But it's important that they can have access to you, because now when they come back out in the community, they know you got a business, so they can find you. And so like a lot of times I think it's funny, because like I'm in the community a lot, and I'll say like, man, I'm easy to find. I used to never give out my business card because I was like, I'm so popular, you can find me. But then I realized is that that's not necessarily true, because you know, you walk away from somebody and you forget their name, you forget something, and then you never could get to them again. And so I think that this is great, because with a book, it's like not only your pictures on the back of it, but it's also, it's like almost like this is you in a form that is not physical. But this is your thoughts becoming a thing that they could actually use to pattern their life off of. So
it's powerful.
That's powerful.
It's powerful. And what you just said too, it's crazy. You just said, it's good you said that, because Maya Angelou actually said, what you people always often sometimes don't remember, you know, what you said or remember. But one thing they do remember is how you make them feel.
That's right.
You know, so I try to make sure, just like Derrick just said, like every time he leaves, you know, it's like, damn, like I felt something. I learned something. I tried to make sure every time I leave those kids that I made them feel good. You know, understand? Or made them feel important. You know, everybody wants to feel important.
Right.
So the reason why, you know, I being humble for me is not something I try to do. It's something that I look at how other people might feel. You understand? So I try to not that I dim my light, but what I do is I try to listen to other people. Other people want to be listened to. You know, they want to feel good. They want to feel important.
At the end of the day, you're gonna figure it out. So when you make a mistake, it's not about making a mistake and then giving up. It's saying, okay, I messed up today, I failed. Okay, but when you fail, you learn something. And so now you can get back up and say, okay, let's try it again. So I'm sure you've had a couple of bumps. When you're trying to, anybody that's doing business.
Everybody.
My business is celebrating 15 years this year, right?
Nice.
And I've been saying to everybody, well, the first 15 years was practice. And
now
I'm really about to hit them in the head. You know, so like that's the way you got to do. You fell early so you can be able to like really get it going.
I like it. So for 2020, I'm trying to fail at least 5 times a day. I swear I am. I'm trying to, and this is what I told people, right? I said, and you want to fail. You don't want to fail small. You want to fail big. Like I ran for mayor. You want to fail like that. So imagine what I learned from those 8 months of running for mayor. You understand?
Next time we do this on Eat and Talk, follow us on NEVIDEO and follow us every day. But you know what I always like to say? Never stop dreaming. Peace.